Are you watching this video instead of working on that assignment? In this video, I'll be giving a breakdown of what you can do to stop procrastinating. My name's Jeff, and my goal is to make psychology make sense. Stick around. The worst part about procrastination is that you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. You just can't get yourself to do it. There's a guilt you feel every day by being a procrastinator that lingers over your head. It's this massive anxiety demon that's always staring you down. This happens when tasks have deadlines. The quicker the deadline approaches, the more pressure builds from within. The further the deadline is, the less pressure we feel. The most challenging version of this is when you're facing a situation that doesn't have a deadline. What about if we need to work on our mental health? Start going to the gym. Reach out to that friend we haven't seen in a while. Fix that thing in the house that's kind of annoying, but it can wait. There's no time limit on it. Why work on it when there will always be a tomorrow? Well, you can spend time actually being productive or just spend time wishing you were productive. This isn't easy at all. It requires a lot of hard work and patience, but it can be resolved. Two types of procrastination to keep in mind are active and passive procrastination. Passive procrastinators are paralyzed by indecision to act and fail to complete tasks on time. Active procrastinators are those who actually prefer to work under pressure and deadlines, and they deliberately make decisions to procrastinate. Let me know in the comments below the most you've ever procrastinated on something. One thing you can do to stop procrastinating is to prioritize all the chaos. Create a list of what the most important thing is that needs to get done versus what the least important thing is that can wait. Break everything down into small, executable steps. If you have to read a 200-page book, don't worry about pages 2 through 200. Just worry about the first page. The only way it will get read is if you literally read it. There's no way around it. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Don't think of how far you have to travel, how much it'll hurt, and how far you are from the goal. Break it up and get the first things done. Read the first page. Take that first step. By doing this, your brain can process these little goals much more effectively. This will happen with lower levels of fear and anxiety from trying to finish what you want or need to get done. If you have to create a video series on procrastination for your YouTube channel, don't worry about all the hours it's going to take to ideate, script, film, edit, etc. Just focus on the first video. The first line of text to be said. Inch your way along. Some progress is better than no progress. The consistency of this will create bursts of productivity in the long run if you keep at it. Another thing you can do to stop procrastinating is to develop the mindset that you're always in the present. As you watch this video right now, you're in the present. When you finish this video, you'll be in the present. When we procrastinate, our minds are focused on the future, on things that haven't even happened yet. Procrastination is an overblown future thinking mind. You want to create a forest and save the planet? Go outside and plant a tree. The best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now. The other problem with procrastination is that your brain loves telling you that, hey, I'll just do this tomorrow. That'll be the day. But that day's never gonna come, because as soon as tomorrow hits, there's a tomorrow after that, and a tomorrow after that, and your brain's gonna keep saying it. And there's a tomorrow after that. It never ends. So the entire time you're stuck in that mindset, nothing will change. You change this mindset by forcing yourself to take action, no matter how you feel and no matter how small the task is. Over time, This action will help with the mindset shift. To further help with this mindset shift, you can take on journaling and meditation. These practices can significantly improve your focus over time if done consistently, and will literally rewire your brain. You want it done, get up and just take a step, then take another step, and take another. Before you know it, you've planted and grown an entire forest. Another thing you can do to stop procrastinating as much is to change your physical environment. Change it in such a way that when you're in this environment, you'll actually become bored. How effective is boredom, though, in getting us to do unwanted things? According to one study, it's extremely effective. A social psychologist named Timothy Wilson from the University of Virginia gathered a large group of undergraduate students and community members to take part in a pretty unique study. Participants were put into a room with nothing to do. They literally just had to sit there and think and not do anything engaging. One interesting part about the study is that there was a button in there that would electrocute you if it was pressed. All participants before this study stated that they would rather pay money than be shocked with electricity. Yet 67% of men pressed the button willingly, and 25% of women pressed the button willingly after being left in the room with their own boredom. These people were literally so bored that they would rather electrocute themselves than just sit and think, even after they said they would pay money to avoid getting hurt. Your brain hates being bored so much that it will make even the most dull or dangerous actions seem entertaining and preferable. So by changing the environment around you and removing all those unwanted distractions, you can significantly improve the chances of you getting things done. But now the question becomes, but what about when I'm on my computer working on the thing I was procrastinating from? My computer's filled with distractions. What if I'm doing taxes, writing up an essay, or focusing on a new business plan? I'm just one quick click away from a YouTube video or a video game that I like. It's way too hard, Jeff. Don't chase perfection. Instead, chase progress. It's okay to work on the important thing for a bit, then relax and play a game or watch some YouTube videos, then come back to the important thing again later. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be done in one single sitting, and it doesn't have to be Nobel Prize winning work. We're human. Try your best. Make little progress and focus on consistent daily action and building habits slowly over time rather than ripping your hair out in one 10-hour sitting trying to write that essay that you've been putting off. Another thing you could do to stop procrastinating is to consider where it might be coming from. We may have feelings of wanting to succeed, but at the very same time, feelings of fearing failure on a task. These opposing viewpoints being felt at the same time cause cognitive dissonance, where our actions, words, reality, and thoughts are inconsistent and compete with one another. At times, we can too heavily tie our accomplishments in with our self-worth, and that's a dangerous game to play. We don't just get confident from successes, but we also gain confidence from failing as well. Both can provide helpful data points for our brain to keep moving forward with more tools in its belt. Think of procrastination as a protective strategy for coping with conflicting motivation. We need to make an effort to separate accomplishing tasks with the way we see ourselves. Your performance does not equal your ability, and your ability does not equal your self-worth. Remove toxic thinking around all of this, and the pressure could continue to ease up in time. Don't be so hard on yourself. We're all human. We mess up constantly. We tend to start tons of things and procrastinate on them, and then we never end up finishing them. It's even okay if you have unfinished projects. You learn from them. You learn about what you like and don't like. They could eventually even turn into real things down the road. I came up with the idea for my master's thesis years before I even got accepted into graduate school. It's not even what I was intending to use it for in the first place. I came up with all these notes and scribbles and everything, and I just threw it in a drawer, letting it collect dust. It was a list of ideas on what motivated millennials at work and how to keep them motivated. It was a bunch of nonsense that I stressed about so long because I felt like I needed to do something with it. Many years later, I ended up dusting it off and using that very thing for my thesis topic. It turned into something real, and I was so much better prepared for writing the thesis than several other people in my cohort because I had all of this unfinished work. Procrastination can actually be a gift sometimes. I didn't need to do anything with those notes, but then when I was in grad school, I needed something to happen for school. When the time calls for it, your unfinished work can become a finished masterpiece. Regret is one of the worst things that someone could feel in their life. If you get so bogged down on procrastinating and beating yourself up for it, you can either do something about it or not. You can either make a change or not. How important is it to you that you live a fulfilling life with no regrets? Break things up into small steps and keep taking steps without stressing too hard on where you need to be. Be present and take action now. Journal and meditate. Change your environment and get bored. Detach yourself from the idea that you need to be perfect and that your performance and ability are tied to your own self-worth. Don't be so hard on yourself and know that you're just human. Some progress is better than no progress. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Work exceptionally hard on this and be a doer, or else a doer is going to come in and take all the opportunity away from you, all those special moments. This can cause some deep regret down the road. You get one life. Make it count. If you're still struggling with crippling procrastination after you've tried taking the steps we've discussed in this video, know that you're not alone. Consider leaning on others who love you and work through this together. Also, consider professional help and services like dialectical behavioral therapy from a licensed mental health professional if that makes sense for you, your goals, and your needs. Procrastination can really hold you back in your career. But you want to know what won't hold you back? It's creativity. If you're interested in developing your creativity and maybe even turning it into a career, be sure to check out my last video where I collaborated with the massive YouTuber D on how to turn your creativity into a full career. So for all things psychology to help you think, feel, and perform better, stay tuned right here on Psychology of Living.